Obsession is one of the biggest film success stories in recent times. The movie has made $370 million in the box office worldwide and $230 million in the domestic box office, putting it above movies like Get Out and A Quiet Place. This movie has grossed more profit in its second and third weeks of release than it did on its opening day, making it the first movie to do so since E.T. was released in 1982. The craziest part about this is, in an era of filmmaking where movie budgets are easily in the tens or hundreds of millions, they did it with only $750,000. The director, Curry Barker, went from posting horror short films and comedy sketches on YouTube.
What's up guys, welcome back to Curry's Crazy Pranks. Today we got a crazy one for you. We got these Dorito minis, but here's the catch. There's nothing in there.
No, dude, you don't need.
You can have some.
No, girlfriend.
To being one of the most talked about names in the industry, and when asked about how his phone must be blowing up, he said, "The opportunities were just unbelievable. I realize I can do whatever I want now."
The industry at the moment is very excited about two young filmmakers who have films in the box office top 10 at the moment, Obsession and Backrooms as well.
So happy for them. I think it's so fantastic. I think it's great that they had basically very little money. Especially Obsession had under $1 million, but I have seen Obsession and I loved it.
The film's main actress, Indy Navarrete, her social media has been exploding, gaining millions of followers, been doing interviews everywhere, and has even gone on Jimmy Fallon.
Is this a strange experience for you now?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You just became super famous like that.
Yeah,
How are you handling it?
I don't know.
This movie is every filmmaker's dream come true, but the story doesn't end there. A few weeks after the success, the art director of the film, Sally Choi, came out and said that she got paid $6,741 after taxes, and that some volunteers who helped out on set only got paid with gas money. What I want to talk about today is if what she made is fair. After all, she agreed to the deal, and who knew this film was going to be a generational success? Or if her, along with the rest of the crew, should get bonuses for their work. First, I want to go over the original Instagram post that I will also leave linked in the description. In it, as I mentioned before, she goes over her and some of the crew's pay, but she also goes on to describe the struggle that she went through. She was living paycheck to paycheck and had no choice but to agree to the deal. Because it was such a small production, she had to play many roles on set, not just being the art director. And the long hours of production took such a toll on her body that she dropped to weighing 90 pounds. At the end, she said that she could be in the wrong and would like to start a discussion and perhaps change how the film industry works. This post blew up, gaining massive attention. So much so that in an interview that Curry Barker did with The Hollywood Reporter, he was asked what his feelings were about the post. "I have nothing but respect for the art department. Everybody on this film worked so hard and they deserve to be recognized. But what I hope is that every person that worked really hard on this film will see opportunities to catapult their careers in ways that can be very financially fruitful for them." Thankfully, he is right. Curry already has another movie in the works with Aaron Paul. Indy is supposedly set to star in a new horror film titled In Vertigo. Michael, the other lead in the film, just got signed to a talent agency, so I'm sure he's gonna be doing well. One of the supporting cast landed a lead role in a new thriller TV show coming out called Ping. They all deserve these opportunities, and it's amazing that people can finally see how talented they all are. But is everyone going to get massive opportunities out of this? Going back to her original post, if you look at the comments, some people are saying that she's going to be blacklisted from the industry, that she agreed to the deal, and that she should negotiate better next time. And if the movie did poorly, would she take money out of her paycheck? The volunteers who helped out for gas money, are their careers going to make a massive leap? Are they even pursuing a job in the film industry, or were these just friends of the crew who agreed to help out? There are also those in the comments that are supporting her and are thankful for her speaking out, and that these are conversations that we need to have. Some of the statements made kind of reminded me of an interview that Markiplier just did regarding how he paid his crew for his recent film. For those of you who don't know, Markiplier is one of the biggest YouTubers ever, as well as a director now that his film Iron Lung has come out in theaters. The film had a budget of $3 million and made a total of $50 million in profit, and he gave us some insight as to how the crew was paid for the film. before I show you what he had to say, he's going to refer to something called points. To explain what points are, I found this great video by a man named John Wolf, or Candy House Productions on Instagram, which I will leave a link to below.
There are 3 kinds of points that you might see as part of your back end deal if you're going to go for one. And those are gross points, adjusted gross points, and net points. Gross points are for the financiers, high-powered directors, producers, A-list talent. Really important people. They get their money back as soon as the money starts flowing in before anybody else is paid off. You're not going to get those points. Now, adjusted gross points, those are paid after certain distribution costs are paid. Then those points start paying off. Those are good points to have if you can get them. Third kind of points, those are net points, also known as monkey points or dummy points, because they never pay out. Usually, after all of the Hollywood accounting takes place, the film is broke on paper, so you're never going to see any money from net points.
So to break it down, directors like Curry or main actors like Indy probably did make a decent amount of money because points are likely a part of their contract. But for the majority of the crew, the names that aren't thought about when people remember this movie, they don't get any percentage of the profits. And if they were to negotiate for that, they would receive less money up front and get net points, which, like John said, are given after all the movie expenses are paid, which often lead to net points meaning nothing. Now that I got that explained, let's see what Markiplier has to say about how he paid his crew.
I had heard that you had a unique profit sharing model with the cast and crew. I was wondering if you could explain that a little
not
more.
unique. I'm just giving them a bonus. And what sucks is like that's apparently rare. 50 million, right? That's what the box office is. But you have it's a split with the theaters, right? Like 50-50 split, I think, is what we mostly have. And then you have, so you cut that into 50 in half, you got 25. The Centurion Films takes their cut, you chop it down, and then you're left with the amount that's going to be repaid for the budget. And it's like, that is repayment that I put into the production company. So that gets repaid, possibly with interest. And so that gets paid off first. So it could be like, I'm breaking even.
Right.
So as soon as you're like, okay, I've broken even, then everything else is basically profit. So things are based on profit. So the people that have points in the movie, obviously David Zemansky, developer of the game, he gets points in the movie. And this would usually be where the studios would have a big percentage, but in this, I don't have that. So because I don't have that, I'm able to give a bonus to the crew. So I took their salary that I paid them for the production days, and I said, like, I'm going to apply that again as a bonus. And so just like whatever your salary was, it's now doubled. And then whatever's left over is mine, goes back to me. As you can see, the number goes ding, 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 ding. Really has to be recognized that it's like, I'm so happy to be able to give the crew a win, a reward for their hard work and their trust in me. It's not even like I paid them poorly on set. I like to pay people well and I like to treat them well. And I believe that without them, this movie never would have been made. So of course I'm going to give them a bonus, and I wish the industry actually would do that.
Like he said, he didn't have a studio that would normally take a large percentage of the cut, but even still, with the movie making only 14% of what Obsession did, he was still able to double the crew's salary, which according to him, they were already paid very well for this shoot. Now, I'm not sure exactly where all the profit from Obsession went, nobody is, but while doing research for this video, I came across a post from Minette Louis, sorry if I butchered your name, on Instagram. I'll leave her link down below as well. She has been producing small indie films for the past 20 years, and she gives her approximation of where all the money went. This post says the movie made $126 million in the US box office, but according to Box Office Mojo, the movie has now made $230 million in the US alone. I did the math again with this new number according to the graphs that she posted, and this is what I came up with. Just a reminder, these are not the actual numbers. This is just a very rough guess based on Manette's approximations. First, half the money goes to the theaters, then 30% goes to the distributors, which in this case would be Focus Films, who bought the distribution rights for $20 million. So we are already down to just $80 million. The part we care about is the licensor, because this is where we're going to be getting our points from. So after some deductions for Focus Films, we are left with $57 million for the licensors. Part of the licensors include investors, people who gave money up front so that the movie could be made in the first place. After taking into account the money they get, as well as some other listed fees, we are left with $18.5 million to the crew. So already we see that only 8% of the movie's profits ever goes back to the crew. But remember, only the most important crew members has points in their contract. So producers, along with Curry, each probably made around 3.7 mil, Indy and Michael around 1 mil, and some of the crew, like the cinematographer and main editor, around $185,000. But beyond that, everybody else got paid what they originally agreed to. Also, the reason I don't take into account international sales is because the percentages and fees are different, and I'm not sure what those are. While I was making the script for this film, I was talking with some of my buddies about it and what they thought about the pay. Some of them said she got paid what she agreed to, so there's really not much she can complain about. Others were saying how because it made so much money, why aren't the crew making any profits from the film, and they believe that that's unfair. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment section below. Do you think the crew that didn't have points as part of their contract deserve a bonus? Or do you think that they got paid what they asked for, so they should just use this as an opportunity to get bigger gigs in the future? Whatever you guys think, just please keep it respectful in the comments, please. And yeah, I think that's about everything. So yeah, if you liked the video, subscribe, share it. I think that's everything. Yep, okay. Well, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video.